Boy, I tell you what, it's been cold here in Rochester, New York. We even made the national news one night. They showed a plane trying to take off from Rochester Airport. And I guess it made it. I didn't hear anything about a crash. But anyway, I know that you had seen some news about the weather that we were going to get. And boy, did we get it. I'll tell you what. Well, I'm just trying to make this short video to tell you, I don't think I have ever really told you how much I love you and how much you mean to me. And all those years that we were apart, I thought about you. And I would constantly bounce things off of you and have conversations with you. Yeah, I'm a little crazy, what's new? But I missed having that because when you were my older brother, and if it hadn't been for you, I would have had a miserable life living on the farm with an old man that was always gone. But you would come over on Saturdays and we'd watch cartoons and we'd watch wrestling, and you do wrestling stuff with me, and you don't know what that did for me as a human being, because I did the same stuff with my grandson. I didn't get to do as much of it as I wanted to with Faith, but I knew when I was interacting with my grandson that that's where I got it from, because Daddy, he was too old to do any of that stuff. He'd throw the basketball around with me a couple of times, and that's about all that he would do, because he was always working, he was always gone. He'd leave at 8 o'clock in the morning and tell me not to eat anything until he got back, and then he wouldn't be back to 8 o'clock at night and then get pissed off because I had found a way to find something to eat. I had to teach myself how to cook, But when you were there, you actually made life bearable for me. And I think part of the thing that I miss not having with you is a relationship with you as an adult. Because even after I became an adult, I didn't feel like an adult. And I wasn't really responsible as an adult. I don't think I knew how to be an adult. And I don't know if I still do. I don't know if I know how to be an adult to this day. I do more adult things than I used to, But I remember Daddy used to say to Mama, he would say, "You are ruining that boy. You are ruining that boy." Well, I think he was right. I was spoiled. And I probably still am, But all that being said, you were the one that came over and tried to relate to me on the level that I could understand. You became a kid so that I could be a kid. Because there were no other kids around, if you'll remember, until we moved to Florida, and then there were neighborhood kids. But, I never knew. I wasn't accepted by most kids. There were a few kids that I had fun with, but I couldn't relate. I wasn't raised the way they were, and I didn't know the things they knew. I'd been on a damn farm, and you were the only thing that made it so that I got to experience what it was like to play, So then I grew up a little bit, and I started learning things, and I started wanting to have discussions with you as an adult, talking about history, politics, the weather, the Navy. Never really quite felt like it was an adult to adult conversation. And I felt stupid. I always felt stupid. I had my own thoughts, had my own opinions on things, but I was afraid to voice them. I never wanted to disagree with anybody. And if I did disagree with anybody, I think the problem was that our family, we never learned how to disagree. It was always a fight. We always got our feathers rustled if somebody said something different from what we thought, And I think we still have that issue. And I think that comes from Mom and Daddy, because that's the examples they set for us. And I know you don't like to rehash all that shit. I know that talking about stuff from the past is difficult. I don't try on purpose to push your boundaries or go beyond your boundaries. I have boundaries too, but I still have that need to connect with you as an adult, because I didn't get that opportunity. I felt like maybe it was my fault because I was rebellious when I got to be a teenager, and I rebelled against you because you were the only thing that was left that could be a father figure. I'm cooking as we're talking. And David was just mean. He was mean. He didn't want to relate to me. He didn't want to have a relationship with me. He just wanted to dictate to me. Pick up those rocks. Pick up those nails, And the few times I worked for him, he made it a living hell. I didn't get to relate to him, and for him it wasn't about anything but showing the rest of the family how successful he had been. So I didn't desire that relationship with him. I wanted to get away from him as far as possible, and I did. But I wanted that relationship with you, and I desired it, but I didn't know how to ask for it. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I don't want you to distance yourself, okay? I apologize for saying anything that sets you off. I don't mean to purposely push your boundaries. I just like to discuss things sometimes. And I think it's okay to disagree. I think we should be able to disagree about certain things. And you should be able to share your opinion with me, and I should be able to share my opinion with you. And that should be okay, But we never learned to do that. So I don't want to push you away. I enjoy having you again as my big brother. And I'd like to keep it that way. So I'll be careful what I say and what videos I show you, or, Facebook or whatever. I just want a dialogue with you. Really, that's really all I want. And sometimes when I show you something, I do just want your opinion. Even if I don't necessarily agree with that opinion, I still like to hear what you think, And I think that's okay. So, yeah, I'm asking you to overlook those things. I'll do my best not to do them anymore. But I just want you to realize that I still want a relationship with you. I want us to go forward. I'd like us to build some new memories that are not associated with painful things. It's hard. And it's up to you. I mean, you may not want to put that kind of effort into it. Maybe you feel like, the past is the past and let it be. And, I kind of feel like I do want to go forward with you. But I can't make you do anything. I can't make you decide that you want to have a relationship with me based just on what I want. It has to be on what you want too. And I told you this before, and I meant it. When I was younger and I was growing up, I was always focused on what it would take for you to be a better brother to me. And I never thought about or never tried to be a better brother to you. And I'm really trying to do that. And part of that is trying to have a dialogue with you, to have communication with you, and trying to understand you a little bit better. But I also want you to try to understand me too. I know I may seem like I'm a weird guy, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's part of my whole persona. I'm a weird guy, big deal. I am what I am, and, I want you to accept me for who I am just as much as you want me to accept you for who you are. And trying to have a relationship with another family member, especially this family, It's not easy. We got a lot of luggage. And we had some rough years, and we've spent a lot of time apart. And things have happened to us since we last saw each other. There was some bad blood in the past. And you and I both have issues with it. But I think we can get past it. I just got to learn to take that stuff somewhere else and not to you, because I don't want to cause you pain. And I know you don't want to cause me pain either. We have things in common like a sense of humor. Monty Python, that kind of stuff. Kelly's Heroes. All that's funny. But I want to develop some new stuff. You know, what's new? So, yeah. I'll be surprised if you watch this whole video, but it's almost 11 minutes now. I just want to say I love you. I mean it. I do. Always loved you. You were always my hero. You were always the one that was there to rescue me. You know? You didn't flash $2,000 around and brag about how, of course, you had $2,000 because you'd worked every day of your life. You were the guy that was ready to sign over the title to your car to get me out of jail. And I always remembered that. So, hey, I try to give credit where credit's due. Always have. David's got his good qualities too, just not with me. But I see things. I always did. And I know you're a good man. You always were. We have faults, but you are a good man. And I love you. So there you go. You're not getting rid of me that easy. Okay? Take care, boats. I love you.